Watch. Got the other one. And you can see haven't used them for a long time, and that's what's happened. And what's happened is the butterfly is a small light butterfly that goes on the end of each drive shaft. These two drive shafts come from the flywheeled engine, and they go to a butterfly that drives a worm drive to the driving wheels. And what's happened is on both these locos, the glue that holds the butterfly has come off. In the previous video you'll have seen my 121s just spinning their engines and no wheels moving. Now I tried to do a video showing me fix this, however all you could see was my hands and the focus was going out, blah 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 blah. Anyway, what I've decided to do is a follow-up video so it gives you a really good idea of what you may come across and what you have to look out for when doing this, which I will believe will be enough so you can fix one of these if you get the same issue. And this is a well-known issue with these. You've got to make sure you've got the right tools, the correct size Phillips or crosshead screwdrivers, very important crooked nose pliers but really small, couple of pairs of tweezers, bowls to put your different screws in so you don't get them mixed up. And here I've got a spare bogey which will actually show you in more detail what you have to do. Now what I've also got is a spyglass like a dentist uses, and I'll just show you this now. Here is a quick view of my dentist type spyglass. Now you can wear, you know, you can buy glasses that are really small and magnify, but I like the light. I would advise it even if your eyes are 20/20, because even with my reading glasses, seeing exactly what is going on is a chore. However, your eyes might be good enough to do this without the aid of one of these. This is just a suggestion like everything I do. Thank you. Okay, we'll start with taking the body off, which is really easy on these. Just pull it apart, it comes off so easily. If I don't break it, just demonstrating this. There you go. And that's the body off. Okay, the next thing you do is you take off the passenger compartment, which is 4 screws, 4 Phillips screws, really easy, but make sure you've got the right size Phillips screwdriver or you will shear them. And there we go, we'll move it out of the way. The next thing you need to do is take off the electrics part, and you don't take them all the way off, but this is where you need your tweezers, and you put the screws. You've just got 2 screws here, 1 at each end. Okay, now what you need to do now is you undo these screws. I'm not going to do it now because all you'll see is hands when I do what's next. Undo that one screw there and that one screw there to release the bogey. So I'll say again, that screw there, and the bogies will drop down. Now this, you can see why I didn't record this because I saw hands, but there you can see the drive shafts, okay? And when the bogies are dropped, you can pull the drive shaft out and then it comes out easily. Now here, you've got a lot more movement with the drive shaft. It really is difficult to show you this. You've got a lot more movement where it slots into here. And you just drop the wheels, the bogie. It will drop out forward. If I can try and show you with this spare one here, it will drop forward, and then you just gradually work out the drive shaft. Now what you may find is, and what I found was, the small butterfly here was stuck into where it slots into the worm drive. and what I used was a very small screwdriver just to oik it out. But you've got to be careful because you do not want to destroy the slot that it goes into that's attached to the worm drive. So I say again, the butterfly on the end of here, which is very, very small, that goes into there, where it's come off the drive shaft, because it's broken, you can't just pull it out, you have to use a small screwdriver to oik it out. But as I say, you've got to be very, very careful so as not to destroy the slot that's attached to the worm drive. Thank you. Okay, and that's it. Now, to refit the drive shaft, I'm going to go forward a bit. And this is what it looks like. It's a case of you feed the drive shaft into here, but you feed it under here first. So you feed it under this piece of metal here, between the two wires, which are these just here, which are the power pickups. So you feed it under, and then you put it into here. So basically you've got the drive shaft underneath, then what you do is up from underneath is push the drive shaft, push the bogie into the drive shaft, and then you put it back. And it's that simple. I'll move this across a bit more so you can see, and I'll try and explain again. You put the drive shaft under this metal piece here, in between the power wires, you push it into the slot here, you can see it's grooved so it goes in, and then you just slide the bogies onto the drive shaft and then push it back in, and that's it. Now doing it, it was all hands, you didn't see anything. Thank you. Now, one thing you need to be aware of with these drive shafts is that on this side it just goes in to, I would say, the slot on the worm drive, and it just pushes in and it runs fine. On this side it has to be pushed in, it clicks in, and that's why you need these, because you put them on and you just hold the drive shaft and push it in, and it needs quite a firm click. You can't do it with your hand. I thought the drive, I brought 4 drive shafts to fix both of them, and I thought that they were different lengths. They're not. The flexibility on the drive shaft is just here, not there. So as I said, this here just pushes in, that's fine, it's easy. On this side, for some reason, it clicks into the slot. If you don't click it in, what'll happen is it'll just rattle around. And there's the flexibility here on this part, which takes up the slack. Thank you. Now, once you've put everything back together, as far as you put in the drive shafts, here you've got the lights. It's important the wires for these lights go out of the way of these connectors here, because these connectors are for your carriage lights, and if you've got wires over the top, they will not work. And that is, as if I move it across, you'll see on the other side, move it, sorry about the shadow, you'll see on the other side the wires are clear of these connectors. And if I show you with the carriage, you can see here where they connect to the connectors. What you can do gently is, if you feel that your connectors aren't down enough, is just put a screwdriver just gently underneath and pull them up so the connections are better. Thank you. The next thing to do is to put this back on, and when you're doing this, you make sure that everything's clear, there's no wires, everything's flat, no wires are in the way, and you make sure everything's clear. And you can see here that everything is nice and level. I'll twist it round. I know we're zoomed in and you're going to miss a bit. However, you can see here that everything is nice and level on the chassis. Spot on. Thank you. Okay, now you need to put this back on. If you've forgotten which way it goes, it's worth remembering that where there's the least amount of glass on these, it always tends to follow you've got where the chip should go. And it's simple really. Just pushes on, clips on, and there we go. And now I'll do a video showing it running. Thank you for watching. Okay, here's the 121 I've just fixed, and you can see everything works. You've got the cab lights, the driving lights, the passenger lights, and you'll see the red warning lights as it goes through. Do you want to slow it down gently and then make it go the other way, please? Now, one thing I would not advise doing with these is moving it in the other direction until it stops, because if these drive shafts are a little bit delicate, not that we've done that, but if they're a bit delicate, then that's what could cause them to come loose. It's the glue on the drive shaft. So what it is, on the little butterfly that goes into the slot on the worm drive, it's not on a spline shaft, it's just glued onto a piece of metal. What it should be is a spline shaft, but it's not. But as you can see, do you want to do it flat out? Scale speed flat out, do it slowly, and you can see there's no noise, it runs really nicely, and it's a job well done. And can you slow it down to a stop, please? Gently slow it down to a stop. And run it in the other direction, please. And you can hear and you can see it runs really nice. What class is it again? I've forgotten.
121.
Class 121, it runs really nicely. Now, Dapol have had this happen before with these drive shafts. So now if you've got one of these and it happens, the loco is not a write-off, providing you've got the right tools, a well-lit area, good eyesight, good glasses. It's a little bit fiddly, but you can see this runs really nicely. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video has been of help to you should you have a problem with your Dapol Class 121. Thank you for watching.